AITA for threatening to expose my brother's deception regarding his daughter's community service at the local library. My brother and I have always had a complicated relationship. He is older, more successful, and, frankly, a bit of a jerk. He has always looked down on my choices, especially my career as a high school history teacher. He works in finance and makes a lot of money, which he never lets me forget. He calls me often to complain about his life. I usually tune him out, but this time, I decided to say something. I told him that maybe his daughter's behavior was a cry for attention. I suggested he spend more time with her and actually listen to what she has to say. He scoffed and said I do not understand the pressures of raising a child in his social circle. I pointed out that raising a decent human being should be more important than social status. That made him even angrier. He accused me of being jealous of his success and disconnected the call. I am tired of his constant need to measure his worth through money and status. I value my relationships and my work with my students. I find fulfillment in helping young people learn and grow. My brother seems to only care about appearances and achievements. I wonder if he is truly happy. I doubt that he is. He seems to thrive on stress and competition. I wish he could see that there is more to life than making money. Recently, he has been unbearable. His daughter, my niece, got into some trouble at school. Nothing major, a bit of vandalism and some disruptive behavior. As a result, she was assigned community service at the local library. My brother acted like this was the end of the world. He went on and on about how it would ruin her chances of getting into a good college. I tried to tell him it was a learning experience, but he would not hear it. The library where my niece was supposed to do her community service is the same library where my wife works as the head librarian. Small town, only one library. My wife is dedicated to her job. She loves books and the community, and she takes her responsibilities seriously. She mentioned to me that my niece was supposed to start her community service. I said that I would check in to see how she was doing, since I was concerned for her well-being, given the circumstances that led to this. I decided to speak directly with my niece. I invited her out for ice cream, just the two of us. When we met, I asked her how the community service was going at the library. She looked down at her ice cream. She mumbled something about it being fine. I asked her if she was enjoying it, and she said it was boring, but she was doing what she was supposed to do. I asked her how many hours she had completed. She gave me a vague answer about having almost finished. I decided to call the library while my niece was still with me. I stepped outside and asked my wife to check the community service log. I told her I wanted to make sure my niece was on track. I heard my wife typing on the computer. She told me there was no record of my niece ever doing any hours. I thanked her and went back inside. I confronted my niece, and she started crying. She admitted she had not done any of her community service. A few weeks went by, and I asked my wife about my niece. My wife looked confused. She said my niece had not shown up once. I was surprised. I called my brother, and he assured me that his daughter was diligently completing her hours. He acted offended that I would even suggest otherwise. I decided to drop it, figuring there was a miscommunication somewhere. Maybe my wife had the wrong information. Then came the library's annual Community Appreciation Picnic. It is a big event, with food, games, and a small ceremony to recognize volunteers and donors. My wife always gets stressed out about it. I always attend to support her. This year, my brother and his family decided to come too. I thought it was nice of him to show support for my wife, despite his usual disdain for small-town events. The picnic was held on the library lawn. Many people from town attended. There were tables covered with checkered cloths and piles of food. My wife was busy coordinating volunteers and making sure people had enough to eat. I mostly walked around, talking to people I knew and trying to stay out of her way. My brother helped me watch our kids. His kids played with mine. It was actually a pleasant afternoon. I ate a lot of potato salad. After lunch, everyone gathered near the small stage that had been set up for the ceremony. My wife took her place beside the library director. I stood with my brother and our families. I noticed my niece seemed nervous. She kept fidgeting with her hands. I thought maybe she was just shy about being in such a large crowd. I did not realize she had done so much at the library. I just thought she went a couple times a week to fulfill some community service requirement for school. During the ceremony, the library director started talking about the importance of community service and recognizing those who contribute. Then, he called my niece up to the stage. He praised her for her hard work and dedication, saying she had gone above and beyond her required hours. He presented her with a certificate of appreciation. My brother beamed with pride. His daughter looked uncomfortable. I knew something was wrong. I looked at my wife. Her face was pale and she looked betrayed. After the ceremony, I pulled my wife aside and asked her what was going on. She explained that my niece had not done a single hour of community service. My wife confronted my brother about it. My wife was furious. She felt like her entire job was a joke. As the community service coordinator, she is the one who approves hours. She takes her job seriously and tries to help kids learn the value of giving back. To find out my brother circumvented the system enraged her. I was angry too. He put my wife in a terrible position. He made her look incompetent and unethical. It was a slap in the face to her dedication and hard work. I decided I needed to talk to my brother about what he did. My brother had somehow convinced the library director to give my niece credit for work she had not done. He had used his connections and made a substantial donation to the library under the table to make it happen. He thought he was being clever, protecting his daughter's reputation. He did not care that he was undermining my wife's integrity and the entire purpose of community service. I confronted my brother. I was furious. I accused him of being a manipulative liar. He tried to brush it off, saying it was no big deal, just a little white lie to help his daughter. He acted like I was overreacting. I told him that what he did was wrong. He disrespected my wife, the library, and the entire community. I told him that if he did not confess to the library director and apologize to my wife, I would expose his scheme. I repeated that I was serious. I expected him to do the right thing. I said that his actions had consequences. I told him I would not protect him from those consequences. I walked out of his house. I drove home feeling angry and disappointed. I replayed the conversation in my head. I wondered if I had been too harsh. I decided I had not. Someone needed to hold him accountable. I told my wife what happened. She was also angry. She said that his behavior was unacceptable. She supported my decision to give him an ultimatum. She said that he needed to learn a lesson. We agreed that we could not enable his dishonesty. We prepared ourselves for the possibility that he would call my bluff. We knew exposing him would cause a family rift, but we believed it was necessary. We waited to see what he would do. He scoffed at me. He said I would not dare. He said I was just jealous of his success. He said I was always trying to bring him down. I told him I was not jealous, just disgusted. I gave him 24 hours to come clean. Now, my whole family is in an uproar. My parents are begging me to drop it. They say I am making a mountain out of a molehill. They say I should not cause trouble for my brother. My brother is acting like I am the bad guy. He says I am trying to ruin his daughter's life. My niece is avoiding me. I understand their reactions. I am the one who stirred things up. I brought this issue to light. Everyone was happy ignoring it before. It is easier to pretend nothing happened. My parents value family harmony above all else. They do not want any conflict. They think I should prioritize family unity. They believe some things are better left unsaid. My brother wants to protect himself and his daughter. He does not want to face the consequences of his actions. My niece is caught in the middle. She probably does not know what to think. She might feel betrayed by both her father and me. I am not trying to hurt her. I still plan to speak up. I contacted a lawyer. I want to know my options. I need to understand the legal ramifications. I do not want to do anything that could backfire. I am preparing for a long fight. This will not be easy. My family will probably turn against me. I am ready to accept that. I will not compromise my values. I must do what I think is right. This is not about revenge. This is about justice. My wife is hurt and angry, but she also does not want me to cause a family feud. She says I should just let it go, but I cannot. What my brother did was wrong, and he needs to be held accountable. I believe in integrity and honesty, and I cannot stand by and watch him get away with this. So, AITA for threatening to expose my brother's deception? Part of me feels like I am escalating the situation and causing unnecessary drama, but another part of me feels like I am doing the right thing. I do not know what to do. I want to add some more context, because a lot of people are asking about the details of how my brother managed to pull this off. Apparently, my brother knows the library director from their country club. They play golf together. My brother made a large donation to the library, which was earmarked for a specific project that the director was passionate about. In exchange, the director agreed to sign off on my niece's community service hours, even though she did not complete them. My wife only found out about the donation after the fact. The director did not tell her about it beforehand. She was suspicious when my niece was called up on stage, because she knew my niece had not been there. When she questioned the director later, he admitted what had happened. My wife was furious, but she felt like her hands were tied because of the donation. She did not want to cause a scandal or jeopardize the library's funding. That is why I am so angry. My brother not only lied and manipulated the situation, but he also put my wife in an impossible position. He knew she would be hesitant to speak out because of her loyalty to the library. He took advantage of her good nature and dedication. Some people are suggesting that I should just talk to my brother again and try to reason with him. I have tried that. He is not reasonable. He is arrogant and entitled. He thinks he is above the rules. He honestly believes that he did nothing wrong. He sees this as a clever way to protect his daughter, not as a betrayal of trust and a violation of ethical principles. I also want to clarify that I am not doing this to get back at my brother for past grievances. This is not about jealousy or resentment. This is about right and wrong. I am genuinely concerned about the message this sends to my niece. She needs to learn that actions have consequences and that you cannot buy your way out of trouble. I understand that exposing my brother will have repercussions. It will likely damage our relationship, possibly permanently. It will create a rift in the family. It could even affect my niece's future. But I believe that the long-term consequences of allowing this to go unaddressed are far worse. Some people have asked why my niece did not speak up. That is a valid question. I think she is ashamed and embarrassed. She probably feels pressured by her father to go along with his plan. She is also young and impressionable. It is hard to stand up to a powerful and controlling parent. I feel sorry for her, but that does not excuse her behavior. She needs to learn to take responsibility for her actions. I am still conflicted about what to do. The 24-hour deadline is approaching. I am hoping that my brother will do the right thing and confess. But I am not optimistic. I am prepared to follow through with my threat if necessary. I know it will be difficult, but I cannot live with myself if I let this go. I will update with what happens. I appreciate all the advice and support, even from those who think I am wrong. It helps to hear different perspectives and to consider all the potential outcomes. Update. Well, the 24-hour deadline came and went. My brother did not confess. He did not apologize. He doubled down. He called me this morning and accused me of being a vindictive busybody. He said I was ruining his life and his daughter's future. He said I would regret this. So, I did it. I went to the library director and told him everything. I explained how my brother had manipulated him into giving my niece credit for community service she did not complete. I showed him the evidence I had gathered, including text messages and emails. The director was shocked and dismayed. He said he had no idea that my niece had not actually done the work. He felt betrayed and used. He thanked me for bringing this to his attention. Then, I went to my wife and told her what I had done. She was relieved. She said she had been feeling sick about the whole situation. She was glad that the truth was out. The library director called my brother and confronted him. My brother denied everything at first, but the director had the evidence. My brother eventually admitted to what he had done. The library director rescinded my niece's certificate of appreciation. He also announced that the library would be returning my brother's donation. He said that the library could not accept money that was obtained through deception. My brother is furious. He is not speaking to me. My parents are disappointed. They think I should have handled this differently. My niece is mortified. She is avoiding me. My wife is proud of me. She says I did the right thing. She says it was important to stand up for what is right, even when it is difficult. I feel a mix of emotions. I am relieved that the truth is out. I am proud of myself for standing up for my principles. But I am also sad and disappointed. I hate that this has caused so much pain and conflict. I do not know what the future holds for my relationship with my brother. It may never be the same, but I hope that someday he will understand why I did what I did. I hope that someday he will realize that honesty and integrity are more important than money and status. In the meantime, I am going to focus on supporting my wife and helping her rebuild the library's reputation. I am going to try to be a good uncle to my niece, even if she does not want anything to do with me right now. And I am going to continue to stand up for what I believe in, even when it is unpopular or uncomfortable. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your advice and support. It has helped me get through this difficult time. I hope that my story can serve as a reminder that honesty is always the best policy, even when it is hard.